Hi, would you like to feel steadier on your feet and more confident every day? Do you want to start improving your balance today? We can help. Our free balance blueprint is just what you need, and I'm going to tell you all about it at the end of this video. First of all, though, here is a super helpful video from the Vida Wellness Studio that talks about stepping out safely in summer, feeling confident, feeling secure, feeling stable, reducing your risk of trips and falls when you're out and about in summer. Enjoy. Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about stepping out safely in summer. Walking can be really enjoyable. We can walk in pleasant surroundings with friends, family, companions. We can explore new places. And walking is also a great way of keeping fit. And I definitely find this, that going out for a walk, being outdoors, getting fresh air, being in nature, it really helps in terms of sort of just overall well-being. I think sort of emotional well-being and all of that stuff. Just going for a walk just helps to, whether you're a little bit stressed or you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or you just want to think through stuff, going for a walk actually really, really helps you with that. So walking is important on so many levels. And we need to be able to feel confident and feel safe, feel steady on our feet, and feel good about it when we go for a walk. So the fact that we're talking about staying safe going for a walk, it's not about being negative or fear-mongering about, the risk of falls or anything like that. It's just about being realistic that we all want to feel good when we walk. We all want to feel safe and confident, and we all want to avoid trips and falls. So let's cover off everything we can to make sure that we are feeling and being as safe, steady, and confident as we can. So we have other videos we've already made for stepping out safely in autumn, stepping out safely in winter. We wanted to cover off summer because there are some other sort of specific seasonal things that we know will be really helpful to you if you're out walking or want to get out walking in the summer. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind, the main thing that we need to cover off, is the heat. The high temperatures and hot weather can have a really significant impact on our body. And sometimes we don't allow for that. We don't take account of that. But it can really affect everything, how our body's working, how our body's feeling, our balance, our energy levels, all of that stuff. So if you're somewhere that it is really hot, especially, if it's really hot sort of throughout the day, take that into account. Don't assume that this doesn't have an impact on your body and your ability to maybe to push yourself or to cope with certain things. So making sure, obviously, if you're somewhere very hot, avoid, doing strenuous exercise in the middle of the day when it's hot. Obviously, the ideal thing to do is to go out earlier in the day before the heat picks up, before you get tired from the heat. Choose locations that may be cooler, so somewhere that's got a breeze, somewhere where you're amongst trees, because that really brings the temperature down a little bit, near water. Think about where you go walking so that it's maybe slightly less hot. And then just, really just kind of make some allowances, give yourself a bit of a break. So be aware, even if you're walking in the cooler part of the day, you might need to stop and rest a little bit more. You might not be able to walk quite as far or quite as fast as you would if it wasn't so hot. That's okay. I think recognizing that and knowing that there's nothing, it's not that your fitness has declined or, that there's anything wrong. It's just actually the weather does have an impact on how we feel. So if you don't feel quite as energetic as you might have done, that's okay. The great thing is you get out and you go for a walk and you do as much as you feel you can safely and confidently do. And then perhaps there's something else that you can do indoors. Perhaps you'd go for a shorter walk outdoors, and then you do some mobility exercises or something else indoors, perhaps if it's a little cooler or at another time in the day. But give yourself a break. Recognize the impact that the heat has on our bodies and do everything you can to mitigate that in terms of where and when you walk. And then with the heat, usually comes the sun. So we want to, if you can go for a walk somewhere with some shade, that would be ideal. Wear a hat because that will help to keep you cool if you're out in the sun. The other thing to think about with the sun is if the sun is very bright, then wearing a hat and wearing sunglasses can help to keep the sun out of our eyes. And if the sun is very bright in our eyes, we sort of affects our ability to see properly, perhaps we're squinting a little bit, don't want to look where we need to be looking to stay safe when we're walking. So hat will help you from the vision, but also in terms of, keeping the heat and helping you to keep cool and not get so hot in the sun. Next, we need to talk about hydration. Dehydration can significantly impact our balance. There's been lots of studies. We understand how this works in the body. And of course, we're more likely to get dehydrated when it's hot and in summer. So taking extra care to drink enough fluids throughout the day, but also before, during, and after your walk. And this is really going to help you in terms of energy, feeling good in the heat, and definitely in terms of your balance. Take into account that you need a lot more fluids when it's hot. And if you're going out for any sort of decent length of walk, or you're not sure how long you're going to be out, take a small backpack and put a bottle of water in there so you can have a drink while you're out. Or if you get a chance to stop somewhere and have a little drink, do take that opportunity. Next, we're thinking about footwear and clothing. So in summer, we can be wearing, summery shoes, flip-flops, sandals, things like that, which are lovely and cool, and they let our feet breathe and they can look lovely, but they're not great for walking. Flip-flops, you end up kind of gripping with your toes. Sandals, possibly your feet aren't secure in them. So when you're going out for a walk, put on a pair of, securely fitting shoes. So a nice pair of trainers or something else, something that you can do up nicely. You've no kind of slip on, slip off, because our feet operate differently when we're wearing those shoes. So something that you can securely fasten, that supports your foot nicely, and that has a bit of a flexible sole so that you can really do that rolling motion through your feet as you walk. I know might not want to sort of put socks and trainers on when it's really hot, but just do so for the walk, because that is really the best way to get to be safest when we walk, but also to get that really good walking motion. We need to be wearing good, securely fitting shoes. And then in terms of clothes, so the only thing to think about is if you're wearing a long floaty dress or very loose trousers, if there's anything that's a trip hazard, or that you're worrying about getting underfoot, or that you do actually get underfoot and trip on, that's not ideal. You want to be able to be looking ahead, concentrating on your walk, enjoying, not worrying about tripping over your dress or your trousers. So that's some of the summer specific advice. Just going to go back quickly to, some of the things that we talk about in all of these stepping out safely videos, because they do still apply in summer. The things we've covered so far are specific to summer. We have our walking well technique tips, and definitely encourage you to revisit them regularly. Think about your walking technique, because that is the most important thing that will help you to walk safely, to feel more confident, to get more out of your walk. Because the better our technique is, the better we feel when we're doing it, but the more of actually a workout we get when we're going for that walk. Some basic safety stuff. If you've got a phone, take it with you when you go for a walk. If you're trying out a new route, maybe take someone with you the first time you go on that new route. When you are taking something with you, like the phone or the water bottle, the ideal is some kind of bag that keeps your hands free. So either a crossbody bag, so that one of those shoulder bags that goes diagonally across your body, or a small backpack, so that your hands are free, so that you can do those arm swings that we talk about in the Walking Well technique tips, so that your hands are free if you need to reach out and hold on to something for balance. The only thing that is really good to have in your hands is walking poles. So if you do walk with walking poles, it's not something that we've covered a huge amount to date in the studio, but if that's something you'd like to know more about, then let us know. Walking with walking poles can give you a really good workout because you get more upper body activity when you're doing that walking. So that could be something that you want to think about. And let us know if you'd like to know more about that. Another general walking safety tip: wear your glasses, wear your contact lenses, get your eye checks done regularly. Make sure you're on top of all of that stuff. Vision is so deeply intertwined with our balance, and it's something that we need to really be paying attention to, and making sure that, wear the glasses, go for the eye checks. Any questions, any concerns, visit your optician or optometrist and get that checked out. Many people like going for a walk when it's a little quieter, when there's less people out on the streets or the paths, so that there's less distractions. It can be more enjoyable, and also safer in the sense that when there's distractions, or whether the distractions are external, kids rushing around on scooters, cars beeping, or internal because we've got lots of stuff going on in our heads that we're worrying about, or just thinking about, or trying to sort of deal with. That takes our attention away from our walking technique, from staying steady. So think about where and when you walk in terms of it being a calmer, more relaxed walking environment with less distractions. But also make sure that you're not rushed, that you're not stressed, so that you can focus on that walk. So if that means that you need to leave a bit more time so you're not rushing, if you need to get a few things off your plate before you go, if you just need to sit down and breathe for a second before you head off for your walk, just so that you're a little calm, whatever it is that you need to do to be able to just be relaxed and focus and concentrate on that walking technique and enjoying that walk, you will have so much more of a pleasurable time when you're walking, but you will also be safer. That stress, that distraction, it takes your brain away from being able to concentrate on things like balance and everything else. So this is actually, it's not just a nice to have, it is actually really important. It's something I definitely encourage you to think about. So that's it, stepping out safely in summer. We've covered the heat, the sun, hydration, footwear and clothing, and we've covered some of our more general walking safety tips as well. As ever, any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to share, just let us know. Thanks for watching. Now sign up for your free balance blueprint and start improving your balance today. The Balance Blueprint includes our best advice for getting started with balance training. You'll receive our 5 tips to start improving your balance today. If you want to feel stronger, steadier on your feet, and more confident, the free Balance Blueprint is just what you need. Click on the link below this video to get your free Balance Blueprint now.